Good morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Carrera. Today is Friday, August 4th, 2023. Here's what's happening with your San Francisco 49ers. Yesterday's practice was a little lighter and really defined by who wasn't there. No Christian McCaffrey, no Trent Williams, no Dre Greenlaw, all veteran days off. Elijah Mitchell was also absent, not a veteran day off. He is, in fact, hurt again. He has an adductor strain. He's going to miss about a week. Here's Kyle Shanahan.
We're trying to work everything with him. I mean, Elijah's extremely good back, and he's had some unfortunate things with injuries. He is a very physical runner, but you don't strain your abductor because you're running physically. So there's, I think all of our runners are pretty physical. Sometimes that can happen, but his bad injury last year, he had his foot in the ground and someone hit his knee. I think it was his MCL. So you can't change your style. That's also what makes him great. I don't always think that's what's getting him hurt either. But he has had some muscle strains and stuff, and I think he got hurt on the exact same day last year in camp. It'll probably help him to be out here about a week and a half, most likely. But Elijah does everything right. He's been unfortunate with it. So hopefully we can find the secret remedy as we go.
Oh, Elijah Mitchell. You had a chance to prove you could be healthy in minicamp, and you got hurt. You had a chance to prove you could be healthy in training camp, and you got hurt. You were hurt all last year. You were hurt your rookie year. You're going to run out of chances. You have to find a way to stay on the field. Not looking great right now. Updates on a couple other injuries for you. Jalen Moore, not as bad as initially feared. He has a bone bruise. He's day-to-day. He actually was walking around the field without a limp yesterday, so that's a good sign. Aaron Banks is in the concussion protocol, and John Feliciano, offensive lineman, has a shoulder, although he should be back today. Moving on, one other surprising thing happened at practice. Brock Purdy actually participated. He is now on the 2 days on, 1 day off schedule. Kyle Shanahan, is there any worry you could aggravate the injury by stepping up the throwing program?
That's completely off my mind. I mean, he's healed. He's healthy. I mean, guys got to get in throwing shape, and they got to play and stuff and get used to that. I mean, that takes time and stuff. But, I mean, I'm not thinking about his injury anymore.
You think he is?
I mean, I think guys always do. But, I mean, you don't step out there until you're healthy. So even when guys' knees and stuff they're healthy, they can go, and it takes a couple things for them to have the confidence. You'd have to ask Brock, but I don't quite think this injury is as much like that. Even just talking to other quarterbacks and stuff, it feels that way at the beginning. It feels that way for a few months, but once it heals, it's a pretty good track record with everyone on how healthy they are.
Excellent. That sounds great. So just to be clear, Kyle, Brock is back to where he was last year, right?
I don't think anyone's back to where they were exactly last season. We're going through training camp. A lot of guys had more practices than him, but we only had 6 in OTAs. But he'll get there. He's doing some good things. They're all doing some good, all doing some bad. So, but we're not worried about Brock. Brock's the real deal. He knows how to play, and we just got to have our team keep getting better, and he'll keep getting better as we go.
That's a little different from what everybody else was saying, right? The whole 49ers beat was quick to say, Brock is back. Velocity's good. He looks just like he did last year. Kyle Shanahan says, not so fast, my friends. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Friday. Matt Barrows in The Athletic has a great rundown of every second-year player for the 49ers, where they stand and what their outlook is. You should go check it out in The Athletic, or you could just click the link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch, one player that got rave reviews from just about everybody yesterday was Leroy Watson. You probably don't know that name. He's an offensive lineman, but it's only his second year playing offensive lineman. He's a converted tight end. They picked him up after he was undrafted with the Falcons last year. He looks good, and when you look good against this defense, that's definitely saying something. One thing you might have missed. Remember when I told you that Brock Purdy had that injury scare where Cleveland Farrell hit his arm? Kyle Shanahan chimed in about that yesterday.
I had to hold my breath so I didn't lose my mind. I could see he was all right, but I definitely, and the guy, I mean, it's human nature. I mean, the only way you can finish a sack is if you run, and reach, and those guys do it, and that's why we have to get on them all the time not to do it, because it is human nature, and then they all do it, and they pull their hands back like they didn't. So it's why I used to get annoyed when coaches would make such a big deal about it when I was younger. It was like, chill out, man. Just let them play football. It's not the end of the world. And then eventually you coach long enough and you lose players in practice to some things like that, and you realize how big of a deal it is.
That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend, everybody. Be sure to check out our new website, goldstandardniners.com, for more on these stories and everything interesting happening in 49ers land. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk on Monday.